Okay, Mr. Dufresne, I heard you want us to pass on responses first for whatever reason. Ready, Colin?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. So as far as the health insurance proposals, so the first one with the annual physical and correcting that deductible, we're going to TA that. And when we TA things at the table, we think that means it's going to be voted on by the members.
From both sides, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Both
And
sides.
if one side doesn't agree, you come back to the table? Is that how that works?
Right, like, so after you TA it,
Right.
it's supposed to be done with, it to be voted on.
Right, but then if it's voted down, do you come back to the table?
Yeah.
Okay,
But if the contract is voted down, of course you do.
got it.
All right, so, as far as the Medicare eligible, we'll TA that one.
That's the FSRBC one, right?
Yes. The one that reduces the time until they collect their benefits, we'll TA that. The appendix A.
Now we need to fix the top portion to match,
Yeah, the language
but you're
there.
okay with,
Yes.
okay.
We'll TA that one.
And I'll send you a new one for that entity.
All right. I do have concerns about the tier 1 versus CCD designation. I understand where you're going with that, and this, I think this is probably your wheelhouse. So I'm going into my Cigna, right? And then I'm clicking doctor by type. All right, and let's say I want to find a pediatrician, type in pediatrician, I can spell it. All right, then I'm searching, see a local provider, and when I'm in my Cigna and looking at these local providers, it is not just calling them tier 1 or tier 2, it is calling them Cigna Care designation.
That's right, because they need to have, there is an actual logo. It's a green, I think the tier 1 is in green. It's a little oblong rectangle. It's in our guides that we hand out to everybody. It shows what it is. It literally says tier 1, a check box, a check mark, and tier 1. And it's a designation that Cigna gives to their providers.
Hit more options.
It's a little kind of logo thing.
No, there's not like an option.
Huh?
So
It's not there, Lisa.
Well, then,
Yeah,
they're not looking at doctors that have it. Not every doctor has it.
Well, I'm looking
So we're
at,
looking at the pediatricians, and none of them have that green flag. Now some of them have a CCD flag.
a lot of them have that.
Okay.
So can you,
So are you saying that if they have the CCD flag, they wouldn't? They're currently not getting $30. It would be $45.
According to the way the plan is written, it's a tier 1 designation gives you the lower copay. If that's not shown on their profile, or if it's not in Cigna system, but it should be on the profile of the director, then you'd pay the higher non-tier rate. They're not using CCD.
So what she's saying is the CCD. So if they have the CCD, they're not paying the. Even though they go, if I went to a doctor right now with the CCD flag, I would pay the higher copay.
Right. It's not a tier.
That's
okay, so where are the tiers listed?
Just like you see the
There
CCD
is no
logo,
tier.
it's a blue circle, right? With
It's the
CCD in
Cigna
middle.
Mirage.
You would also see a tier 1 with a check
You
mark.
have a doctor that you know is one and you can look up.
Not off the top of my head.
So I'm just saying, I've looked at all the pediatricians and not one of them had that.
Okay.
So
We-
I'm not convinced that that's what the system provides. Now, do you guys have a list somewhere else of tier 1 providers? Like if a member's trying to find.
But I think you're missing some of the point. even though that says CCD, they're actually paying $45.
No, we get that, but if they're tier 1 means they pay a lower cost, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what we wanna make sure.
But there is no tier 1
There's
provider.
no tier 1.
That's
so
the
our
Cigna
teacher-
Mirage.
Okay.
So we know there are tier ones because we've had this for 2 years now in the plan. This is how all of us have been using the gold plan, and there have not been any issues to date. So I
But
don't,
where do you find that? If I'm on the gold plan and I want the lower cost provider, how am I finding that?
okay. I think, well, I'd have to go talk to our Cigna rep. If you let me do that, you move on and I'll come back. But I
Okay.
can't speak
If
for
that- I
Cigna,
mean,
but
if
this
that's
is
okay
their.
with you. And I mean, I'm just trying to make sure that our teachers can find these tier 1 doctors.
Yeah,
That's,
we've been doing it for 2 years, so I think they're finding them. So is that all right?
Yeah, if you wanna go find that, so we can, make sure that we can
Okay.
possibly move that one along today.
Pink elephants, pink elephants.
okay. So, this counter proposal that you guys gave us about the JROTC on August 9th, that guess we didn't respond to at that time, we are going to, we're gonna accept that counter.
Okay.
All right, and then, as far as these MOAs, with the board certified behavioral analyst, occupational physical therapist, media specialist, and speech language pathologist. Want to point out that you guys have not brought 1 cent to the table beyond what the governor designated for teacher raises. There's not been 1 cent beyond that put forth. So we are trying to listen to what you're saying about maybe considering some of these costs being moved to the millage supplement. So what we're gonna do, and I don't have a copy of that, is we are going to peel off the media specialist and discuss that with the supplement committee that Vanessa's heading up, right? So we're gonna remove the media specialist and we're gonna work on that through the supplement committee, the millage supplement committee.
Can we just,
As far as the other positions, we are resubmitting our last proposal.
Okay.
And, you know, asking you guys to find something to reward not even reward, to make their pay more in line with surrounding counties. Nicole, did you have something you wanted to share about the?
Yeah, I want to be clear, when you say you're resubmitting, are you resubmitting the SLP one? Or,
We're resubmitting.
Both of them. I mean, all of it, right? I mean,
minus the media.
Yes, but we're
Okay.
taking the media
Right,
specialist
right.
off.
okay, I want to be clear when I make it.
And then do you know if the intention is still to add a secondary assistant
we've
for
already
the
done
media
that.
specialist?
We've already, media assistants.
For secondary?
I know elementary got them.
If you could just,
I don't remember.
if you could
Yeah.
find out, we were told that was the plan, but I think elementary got prioritized probably for the proper reason, but
You want to know if media assistants.
if
will be
there's still the
secondary.
intention to provide them at a secondary level in some capacity.
And I think, if I remember right, last year for the media assistants, they took some things off their plate so they didn't need assistance. Does that sound familiar?
I'm
Hey.
waiting to find out what's ever been taken off anybody's
Yeah.
plate in the history of this district, so it's never been done.
I think that was the intention. I
Thanks for the
don't,
solid answer.
I think that was the intention. I don't know if it
The law
happened.
changed and added a ton, so even let's just say something was taken off, which I don't believe it has been. That law that was passed materials and the way books have to be vetted is astronomically holding our media specialists down. So, you know,
And secondary doesn't even have the same system as elementary.
secondary
right.
handles all the dual enrollment classes, all the college textbooks. That's all on the backs of our media specialists at the secondary level. They just do everything. So we have not heard of anything coming off, but we have heard of things going on in their place.
I think that's everything we had. Did I miss something?
I might be unclear. So you're saying you're resubmitting the 5,000 for the SLPs, the OTPTs? That's what you're,
We're resubmitting the 5,500 for speech language pathologists, resubmitting 5,500 for board certified behavioral analyst, 5,500 for occupational physical therapist, and we are removing media specialists because we're going to talk about that in a millage supplement.
understood. Yeah, that's your final, because I'm willing to up our offer for those. I can't meet the 5,500. I can do 1,000 on the on the Fund 100, and we can go 2,500 on the MOA, so a total of 3,500. And I have it in writing if you want it.
Well, we'll take it.
Sure.
We'll take it in writing.
Sure. That's for the,
That's fine.
and we're gonna take that off. So there you go.
Just take it.
So,
Do you have counts,
say that again.
numbers?
Four.
The people in it,
How
yeah.
many of each? I can do.
That would be extremely helpful when you have a finite amount of money to spend.
Ryan,
Yeah.
here's the one for that.
So-
So that's for the SLPs, and then obviously we can just scratch off the media specialist for all these.
So what is the total amount you're saying for board certified behavioral analyst and the OTPTs? Are you saying
3,500.
3,500? Okay.
Right, right. Did I steal this from somebody? I feel like I stole this from somebody.
No, that's fine.
Hey, what about the other amount in millage? The retention portion.
I can send you,
That's
like,
okay.
What about it?
There's like 2.9 million in there, I thought.
There's
Is that open for use, or do you have
all kinds
plans?
of buckets for.
I know,
things.
that's why I'm asking this. Is that open for use?
I'd have to discuss that. I'm not ready to discuss that.
Okay.
No.
It's not a definite no.
Nothing's ever a definite no. And so looked at your proposal of $12,987,342. Quite a ways off from what we had. I believe we were at total, what was it, 6, was Cindy in here, or Diane, what was the total, 6 million something? They like numbers, so I don't want to give them percent, so can you tell me the numbers? The six point, actual number.
Oh, I thought it was like 5,000 or.
Can you, do you have it? I need the actual number.
Do you guys have it in writing like we?
Well, we might not even get there yet, so just hold on a second. while she's looking at it, we'll just talk round numbers for a second. So it's right around 6 million. It's 5.9 or something like that. And you're at almost 13, pretty close. So we're pretty far off. So I'm trying to think creatively on ways we can meet somewhere. And I have a little bit of an issue with us paying, $8+ million in insurance for, great insurance we have. We did a commercial for it earlier, right? It's such a great benefit. Would you be willing to defer some of that cost of that $8 million? Because you told me how important it was to raise salaries of teachers. So let's take that money that we were going to incur, the cost we were going to incur for insurance. Would you be willing to take some of that money we're willing to incur for insurance and put that burden on your employees? So let's just say round numbers, right? If I pay 8, I'll pay 4 now, and I can put 4 towards employees' salaries.
So, first of all, I prefer a proposal in writing so
Sure.
we can thoroughly vet it. What I will say that I'm opposed to is the district not using an additional cent than what we talked about when we came in here. Right, so that's still not bringing any additional money to the table, right? That's still working with the same amount of money. But theoretically, we would look at that, especially if we had something in writing to really.
See, I didn't want to get into that if there was no appetite for it at all, right? So that's why we didn't even, so let me just see if there's an appetite for that. We can get to, I feel we can get to the state local average. It's about 3.5%, right? It's what everybody's getting in the surrounding counties. We can get to 3.5%. And if you want to go more, we can go more. I could put that whole $8 million towards salaries, including the TSAA dollars, and have you a big old increase, but then the cost of insurance increase would fall on your members. So basically, I'm asking you, tell me, how much do you want?
Well, I'm asking you to find additional money too, right? Like that's where we started.
Right.
But we would look at a proposal like that. I mean,
Fair enough.
Just for folks listening, I mean, there is some benefit in that their salaries would increase.
Correct.
Which would increase their FRS contributions and ultimately.
And not all members use the insurance.
Right. So we would consider looking at that, but that.
No, I didn't want to even entertain it unless there was an appetite for it, right? I didn't want to waste everybody's time. So I said, let's ask the question, right? Let's ask the question. Are they willing to even look at that?
We're willing to look at it.
Fair
And
enough.
also understanding that we are not the only employee group that would have to solely bear the cost of insurance.
I understand.
Okay. We're not gonna take one for the team.
Say that again.
We're not gonna take one for the team.
What
In other words,
do you mean?
You don't put the entire increase on our backs. That's what you're.
Right, I mean, we're in negotiations with them as well. I just see, we'll see who closes first.
I'm not even just referring to Tintin, you've got
Right,
management
sure,
on that side
right,
as well.
right.
Okay.
So do you?
I don't have anything right now, no, because I wanted to be honest, I mean, I'll throw my cards on the table. I was ready to give you a number, and if you weren't going to say yes to it, we were going to go to impasse, right? Like I was ready to do that today, but I want to. But I want to think outside the box. I want to see what the appetites were, right? I want to see what we can do to make it happen. I don't know. That is the highest we can go on SLPs, OT, PTs, just so you know.
That's your best and final.
That's our best and final for that, yes, sir.
Those never work well.
Do what?
Best and finals never work well.
Fair enough.
In the past, it's never been the actual best and final. So
Fair enough. So if you'd like, we can go back and crunch some numbers and Did you want it tiered like you have it tiered here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll tier it, we can do that, right? We can tier it like they have it here. We'll come up with some costs. Do you have a percentage you're looking to get to for raises?
We're looking for dollar amount.
Okay, so do you have a dollar amount you're looking to get to? So you're at 13 million now.
It's in our proposal.
So, oh, you're looking for the full 13.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go crunch some numbers.
Okay. How long do you believe that will take?
I think Lisa might have gotten an answer for you.
Lisa, you have a number for the tier stuff?
Yeah, so I don't know how you're doing your search, but Larisha went to mysigna.com, popped in pediatricians in Titusville and PCPs in Palm Bay, and the first dozen pages all had tier 1 providers.
So did you go to mysigna
Yeah.
or signa.com?
mysigna.com,
Well,
and they shows both, so there's a lot of
No, I know, it's just the
CCPs,
complete
but-
opposite of what we just.
yeah.
Well, what I asked her and she
Lisa,
didn't
we're
know
good. This
was
is so.
mysigna.com probably is more catered to our plans, and we'll pull up the providers that give us the best deal the way our plan is structured. Signa.com is for the whole country.
So which one
regardless
should
of
we be on?
mysigna.com.
That's the one we're
And it's
on.
all that we tell everybody to use.
But that's the one we're on.
Well,
How
I
about
don't know what
this?
to
While
tell
we're
you,
putting
but-
together this, you guys can look at
Sure.
that and then
Yeah.
to make sure that,
Were you looking?
Oh, the $15 an hour one. Were you able to respond?
Oh, we didn't even, didn't discuss it, I apologize.
we'll work on that one too.
And the dual enrollment observation.
Yeah, I think you get.
We TA on the dual
TA
enrollment.
that
Thank
one.
you so much.
All right, so
But this, again, I wanted to see where